Hey you! So today we're going to be reviewing the Ryusoulger episode 1. I'm hopefully going to be doing this on a weekly basis. Hopefully there'll be one review per week and it'll hopefully go out roughly at the same time. But due to work commitments, if I can get these out, then I'll get these out. So before we begin the video, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as check the notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Then it'll help the channel grow and you'll get to see more of these brilliant, okay, alright videos that I produce. So without further ado, let's begin this review. We open up on a shot of the swords and get this kind of really cool kind of twist, circular kind of camera motion, which I kind of understand because I've done them myself. We get old Rangers and new Rangers. We get the red, blue and pink Master Rangers handing over their powers to the new Rangers. Now I hope I get this right because I know I'm going to get them wrong all the way through the review. We have Ko, who is the Red Ranger, Melto, who is the Blue Ranger, and Asuna, the Pink Ranger. I'm going to get Asuna right constantly, Sword Art Online. But these are the Rangers that have gained the powers, as well as the Masters keeping their powers. It then kind of jumps to a Godzilla stroke Gabumon from like kind of Digimon Tamers monster just walking along, and it's kind of very mysterious. We come to a kind of a channel intro thing for UI channel, and it's basically a YouTube channel. I thought that this was something different, like sponsored by, that they put it in. I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. The channel is hosted by Tatsu. I hope I got her name right. And I actually generally dig this character. I think she's actually really cool. She makes kind of vlog content, and she made a few jokes which actually made me laugh. As she's kind of looking around, Ko, I think that's how you say it, kind of says like, what are you doing? And she freaks out and he's just not there. Ko gets scolded completely by his master, saying like, what are you doing? You shouldn't go into that realm at all. All of a sudden, Tatsu is attacked by these kind of minions. I can't remember the name at the moment. I don't think it kind of popped up. If you know, let me know down below in the comments. As she runs and falls and hurts herself, we see that Ko and Master Red, and they're morphed and ready to go. There are kind of loads of different camera angles kind of showing them off, which I generally like because it's like, hey, this is the new Red Ranger that you've got to see. So I really kind of like the different camera angles all moving about. We're then kind of introduced to the intro, and I have to admit, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of nice to see this. I really kind of like the beginning part of it, and just it felt like a different intro that we've not seen in Super Sentai before. So we jump back straight into the action where Ko is actually just fighting everyone. He's using a power soul. Now the one thing that I'm generally like, is when they put the souls into the sword, they have to kind of go boom, 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 and it takes a while. If I was a bad guy, I would not even let him go past the second, like when he activates his power. But when he does, literally he uses it and destroys all the minions really quickly, and we see this whole new kind of attack we've seen in the kind of teasers where everything is like boom, there's fire, there's destruction, there's explosions. Dear God, for literally I think about a couple of minutes into it, damn, this is good. Time for Mark to butcher the names. We now know the slime monster that went for Tatsu, which is called, if I read it, Kurion, or Kuron. I can't say it, I'm really sorry. And then they are reporting to Lord Tankjaw. Oh God, these bad guy names, like I'm getting used to saying the Japanese hero names. The bad guys, it's gonna be a thing. Tatsu's face at the very end of what's happened is how I would see anyone doing the thing going like, huh? What just happened? She then gets a phone call from her father saying, hey, where are you? You know, your vlogs where you're trying to say that you're in these places don't work. So saying you're in the Amazon, And then Tetsuda says, actually, yeah, I'm in the Amazon in this area. So it's like, haha. Or if for a joke, I'd be like, I'm at the Amazon warehouse. That would have also been funny. So the dad's name is, again, gonna butcher this, it's Tatsu Niyoshina, and I think I said that. So again, that's gonna be something hard to say all the way through. So we're back at where we opened up at the very beginning of the episode, and we've got this like maybe Grandmaster who is giving the story about what happened. The bad guys are Druidons, which again is kind of a weird name, but I kind of see where they're going with the night theme. With these bad guys, they were the owners of the Earth, they were the ones in charge, but then fled as soon as the meteors hit Earth and killed all the dinosaurs. Then they show the Zords, or the Dino Knights is what they're going to call them. So they show all the different ones, which I'm guessing are all going to be the Ranger ones, and they're all dotted in different temples. As they're talking about where the Dino Knights are, about the temples, the Rangers kind of look back at times and show that they have to protect the people that they have in their dimension. So I'm guessing as soon as new Rangers come in, or when they want to get more Zords, or Mecha, or Dino Knights, whatever you want to call them, I think that my money will be on is there'll be a temple nearby, a small one, a big one, a hidden one, whatever. So they're going to be dotted about. So you're going to see this all the way through. And if they want to sell toys, there's going to be a lot of them. We then really quickly jump to a scene where Koyo and Meto are actually fighting, and Asuna's kind of worried about what's going on. They find out that the source of their powers comes from the temples. If the temples are destroyed, their powers won't work. Koyo is saying that he is going to protect everyone, and this is the trope of every single Red Ranger in any Sentai that I have seen. Pink kind of doesn't really like this. You know, she's scared of what's going on, so she pushes Koyo out of the way really quickly, and it's been said that she is the strongest one out of them, so he flies into a rock face. As he's getting up, he sees Tatsu kind of hiding because she's snuck into the dimension, and she's thanking everybody for their work and giving them bananas. The Grandmaster Sage, or whatever he is, has found her, and he's like, no, you can't be here. This is sacred ground, get away, and then instructs Koyo to turn around and take her out. Literally take her out of the village and then erase her memories. But when he gets her out there, he pulls up this giant hammer, which again, I thought would be a device maybe, not a hammer that would kill someone. As they're about to do this, a big monster called a Minosaur steps in and is walking to their city. And as he sees it going towards the village, he decides to leave Tetsu there and runs straight back. He morphs straight away, and the others are all morphed fighting. Now, one thing I did like to kind of like stop the confusion and all that was like the new Rangers have the kind of armor up here, rather than them being in a normal state. So the Masters are in the normal Ranger gear. Master Red and KO run off to the temple. And this is when Meltro and Asuna are starting to attack the Minosaur. I don't want to say Minotaur, hits the Minosaur with Master Blue and Master Pink. They start using their weapons to kind of take it down, and it works. But all of a sudden, the Minosaur just fires out a huge blast out of everywhere, and you don't see what happens. Well, not yet anyway. So the Rangers then take down the Minosaur with their weapons, and they're really, really happy. But then all of a sudden they depower, or demorph, which one that you want to call it. They kind of figure out really quickly that someone is inside the temple, and this has kind of disrupted the power or stopped the power transfer to them, so they can't keep going. The Minosaur breaks free of all the kind of the powers because there's nothing there really keeping it. Now, I thought when I saw this that the whips and stuff would just like disappear compared to actually sticking about later on when the Rangers can still use their weapons as power, so they don't have to be powered up in their Ranger state. Kyo and Master Red run into the temple, and they find out that Tank Joe and Kurion is actually there, and they're inside the temple. As they go in for an attack, it doesn't really work, and they get kind of beaten. This is when Tank Joe is about to use his ultimate attack, or one of his attacks, on KO. There's a lot of O's in this. With this, basically what happens is Master Red sacrifices himself, and then there's a whole like kind of really big scene. Meanwhile, outside with Meltro and Asuna, we have Master Pink and Master Blue push them out the way as this big Minosaur uses his blast and vaporizes Master Pink and Master Blue. And oh my god, I didn't think that this would happen straight away. As Master Red is saying goodbye to Kyo, saying, you know, keep going, you are the next one, etc, etc. He passes on and he gives like more power. At this point, Kyo turns into his Ranger form and actually goes berserk and actually attacks Tank Joe. Boom! And it looks like it could be in the final scene that happened to actually give him the strength and power to do it. Meanwhile, those blasts that came out of the Minosaur's mouth earlier actually now land on the temple, which then causes a big earthquake, big kind of rock formation to fall down. Tank Joe and the other guy just teleport out. You know, they don't want to be crushed, they don't want to be killed. And as the rock formation falls down, we can see that there is the symbol of the Ryusoulgers there. And then at the last moment, Kiro basically gets like teleported into the Megazord, or into the Dino Knight. Gonna keep saying Dynamite, I was told not to call them Megazords. Now, I have to say, The effects on this was no CGI, it was all practical, and a huge, massive fight begins with the Minosaur and the Dino Knights. And oh my god, was it amazing. There were different camera angles, there were like jumping shots, which I've never seen any Megazord do that. I've only seen them be kind of robotic and kind of moving. I've not really seen this much since Lupin versus Pat Ranger. Oh my god, this was just amazing and one of my favorite scenes. We're coming now to the end of the episode. The Rangers meet the Dino Knights. You know, they can say, oh, there's so much power inside these Dino Knights, which I'm kind of like, that's kind of cool. The former masters have given their souls to the Rangers, so they're powered up. They, you know, they can now be the knights that they want, and they don't have to be held back. We get the kind of like an introduction to Green and Black now. The kind of the last, maybe the elder of the village has turned around and said, like, you know, 2 guys left before, and thus therefore, you know, you need to go find them, and this is Green and Black. Now we've seen them in the Super Sentai kind of short battle that we had previously for the last 4 weeks. From the time of this recording video, or 5 weeks depending, whatever, so we know where they all are. And then at the very end we get the kind of the dance, which I'm not really big fan on, so I kind of skip that. So that is pretty much it. There is the entire episode all broken down, and I've got to admit, I may try and change things up when it comes to reviewing Super Sentai. So I generally really enjoyed this episode. The angles that they got for the Megazord, the camera angles were superb. I really liked that it had a very dark opening straight away. The only kind of thing that I would nitpick that I don't like personally is at the very end when they activate their morphers, they put the keys into it, and then you just see the little kind of keys like dancing about. I don't particularly like that, but what I did love is as soon as they actually go, yeah, let's kind of spin it around and activate. I don't have the morpher yet. So when he spins it around and activates, boom, like you get this really, really cool scene of just like the Rangers like posing. I was just like, dear God, that is 100% perfect. So I generally really like this. So the episode was fun, it was interesting, it was kind of a bit slow at times, but again, first episode, it had to kind of pick up the pace, so I'm not too kind of bothered with it. I'm going to kind of keep up with the series. I'm going to try and collect the toys as well, because I generally really like the Morpher. The sword looks a little bit too small, but again, hey, can't have a fully fledged bigger sword, but I generally did like the Morpher. The Morpher's quite cool, and we're kind of going back to kind of Ranger keys-ish, or Knight keys, basically a key format, but generally a really good episode, a really good strong element to it, and I cannot wait. I think also one thing I'm going to be curious by is the cockpit that they're going to be all in. It kind of reminded me of Power Rangers to some degree, but again, I'm looking forward to this entire whole series. So Rangers, what are your thoughts on this? Are you excited about the series? Are you going to keep up to it? Are you a fan of Super Sentai? Let me know down below in the comments. So if you've liked this video, why not hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as check the notification bell to be notified when more videos drop, and there's quite a few. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.